Hello, welcome back to LIVENODING. In this episode, I will be exploring Sorcar Selective Extrusion. So extrusion is very simple and basic, right? Let's say we started with this cube, and if you want to make a letter using this cube, maybe like letter E, you extrude it once, extrude it twice. You don't even think twice, right? And then you just extrude the face, and you're done, right? So currently we don't have a way to have user interface to speak to Sorcar or Vertex. However, it's still a good study, like to be able to do it just using nodes. So let's get started. We can make letter T or E for extraterrestrial, whatever, it's just for fun. But let's start with Sorcar. Let's save this very quickly and name it letter. I'm gonna make letter E. Okay, so we start with a box or cube rather. We don't. It's not adding a cube. We need to actually create a cube. So this is the node. Set preview. Okay. Now, if we are in the node-based system, we should think in terms of index. So select by index. What are we really selecting? We need to be very careful because it might assume that you're selecting a vertices or edges or face. It's better if you are more specific. You want to select by face. Okay, just so that you know. And then now we want to extrude, right? We want to make letter E, so we want to extrude here and here. We want to extrude up actually, and then down. Okay, so we go to edit mode, and in edit mode, right, we want to be able to see the index number of this face, so we need to enable it here, developer indices. Okay, now we can see we can extrude index number 5 and number 4. Okay, 5 and 4. The way I do it for now, I'm just gonna do it like this. This one will extend the previous selection. Okay, so if you look at this set preview, it's selecting index number 5, and this one selecting index number 4. So we have 2 selection. Cool. Now we just need to extrude. We're just gonna use extrude region. And try extruding based on the normal, assuming, okay, it's assuming I think just it's extrude on the normal, so it's, I think this looking pretty correct. Cool. And in order to make letter E, we want to extrude one more time. Just keep it basic and simple. And now at this point we want to extrude here 2, 7, and 18. So the index really matter here. Perhaps at this point we want to deselect, so we need to do that. Select all, and instead of toggle, we're just gonna deselect, just to make sure we are doing the right thing. I'm using this with Sorcar. I know with Vertex you can do this as well. However, it's slightly trickier because you are much more lower level with Vertex. With Sorcar, it's much easier. 18, 2, 7, 2, 7, 18. Okay, 2, 7, 18. Something with selecting by index is it's actually, it can be, it's depending on the previous nodes, so it's kind of like hard selections. You need to be careful, but you can work easily this way. Cool, now we have letter E, and we can, the cool thing about this, of course, you can always kind of make changes. Oops. I just found a gotcha. Okay. Apparently, changing something might change the index value, so you need to be careful with that as well. Anyway, for now, we can do things like subdivide and then poke. And what you're gonna get? Oh, interesting. It's letter E, but it's also not letter E. That's okay. It's a good thing that we found this kind of issue. It's interesting. So index is not always guaranteed will work as well. I don't know, maybe it's something to do with B mesh, but in the future we might solve this. So anyway, so we can do poke. We can do poke for every part of this letter and maybe make it like a cushion. I actually have, oh, in the previous live noding, I actually gave a secret node tree that allows you to create the config cushion. Okay, sorry. I'll show you the cushion using Sorcar add-on. Okay, so this is creating what we have earlier in the previous live noding. And I started with a cube. What if we replace this with our letter? Okay, so we can do that. We need to be careful. Sorcar can be quite unstable sometimes. It's a good idea at this point to set the shading. So we are back to object level. Otherwise, this is like in edit mode. Sometimes it might cause crashing. I can make this crash. I think if I just append or copy paste, it's gonna crash. But anyway, I just gonna append the comfy default cube setup. So we have this torus with the comfy setup, which is another node over here. I'm just gonna, this one is not activated. I'm just gonna select this guy and then Command C, go to the other one, paste. Okay, let's hope that this works. Instead of subdividing and poking, we're gonna replace it with that. And let's go step by step. So this is the comfy cushion setup. We are up to here, extruding. We can still make changes. Okay, we keep it quad for now. We're gonna subdivide it. And we're gonna poke. Select by index. So this selection by index hopefully still remain on the face. Okay, it's giving error because we are selecting index. Okay, this is selecting index of the face. We actually want to select the index of type vertices. So this is where it matters. And we want to select vertices, in this case, what's the number? Maybe 137. And then this guy, we'll select the similar vertices. Gonna select all and then invert it. Delete edge loop. So at this point, it seems like something's going on, really weird happening, but it's basically after we extrude and before we subdivide, we need to actually select all and remove, actually deselect everything. And then we're gonna select everything. So now it's gonna work for us, hopefully. It's doing this all poking, and we get this zigzag. Select by index, select similar, bevel, all the way up to here. We can, at this point, have a look. Okay, maybe we made a mistake here when we select the index. Subdivide, poke, select by index. We need to select index that's representing the vertices. So let's select a small value like 944. Okay, select similar edge. The bevel part is actually important. At this point, we don't want to see the index value. Hopefully we can bevel this correctly. You can see it does make that cushion kind of pattern. Okay, cool. Slightly confusing maybe, but someone has got to do this. So we have this pattern for the cushion, and then from this point we can extrude twice, and we should get our cushion. This extrusion may have a different value that we need. Anyhow, I'm just gonna shade it and bring it into the object level. So Sorcar at this point, it's actually quite interesting. I think this should be a minus. Give it a minus 0.1, and this one is actually 0.1. It gives this level extrude. Oh yeah, it's giving this weird result. Maybe this should be the opposite. Ah, okay. Getting the right value, but anyway, that's procedural. Okay, we are done. And back to the shading. I don't know why it's flipping. Yeah, I think that's the thing with the selections, selective extrusions, selecting by index. Oftentimes it changes, so something to keep in mind. But however, we have our final result, our nice letter that looks like a comfy cushion. And if at any time you want to make changes, instead of making letter E, you can make letter T. And that's actually supposedly really easy. So I just turning on subdivision here, and it's taking too long time. Maybe it's gonna stop working. Okay, it works. Cool. Yeah, we have our cushion. Shade smooth. Yep. So there you go. That's a quick look at Sorcar with selective extrusion. The workflow is interesting at this point, but yeah, you can do this, and I think it's really still really cool. This selection by index should be on, right? And extrude region. So at any time in point, you can turn the cube into letter T if you like. I'm not gonna do that now, but you know the process. You can try doing and making every letter. Some letter, maybe like letter A, can be slightly tricky because you need to bridge the face. but it could work. So there you go. That's a quick look at selective extrusion using index, select by index. Hopefully you'll find this useful. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Bye.